honor it is to work beside him at the White House. Said he couldn't say enough good things about him. John Kelly is lying about being shocked by the second day of accusations against Rob Porter because multiple news organizations are reporting that the FBI told John Kelly in November what they had discovered about Rob Porter in their background investigation. Some reports indicate he was told as early as August. And John Kelly chose to ignore it. Colby Holderness showed her photos to the FBI. John Kelly knew there were photos. The FBI would have no reason not to tell him what they knew about Rob Porter. The FBI would have had no reason not to tell him that they saw the photos. They might have even showed those photos to John Kelly. And so John Kelly decided not to believe what the two women told the FBI. Does that mean that John Kelly decided that those two women committed the crime of lying? Did John Kelly decide that those two women were the kind of women who would sit there and commit the crime of lying to the FBI? Does it mean that Rob Porter lied to the FBI? Is there a crime here? Here's Jennifer Willoughby, Rob Porter's second wife, telling NBC's Kristen Welker about her conversations with the FBI.
Can you tell me a little bit about what specifically you told them?
I shared with them the details of my marriage, the same as have been in the interviews and articles that have come out.
Yeah, and one of the questions was, could he potentially be blackmailed? How did you answer that question?
I actually had difficulty answering that question because I believe that the people who had the power to blackmail him would be women who had been in personal relationships with him. So in short, the answer could be maybe.
Is it possible that the FBI did not think that that was something the White House Chief of Staff should know, that Rob Porter's second wife says maybe he could be blackmailed? Jennifer Willoughby is not hiding like John Kelly. She submitted to an extensive television interview earlier tonight on CNN. She has appeared on video now in multiple interviews. You can look at her. You can listen to her. You can read what she has written about this. You can judge her credibility. You can't do that with John Kelly because John Kelly is hiding. John Kelly won't let you hear his voice talking about this. John Kelly is afraid of stepping up to that microphone, afraid of looking into the cameras and answering questions about what he knew and when he knew it, and why he continued to fight for Rob Porter's job even after he saw those black eye photos. Joining us now, Ruth Marcus, Deputy Editorial Page Editor and columnist for the Washington Post. Also with us, Trace Vance, former U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Alabama, and a professor at the University of Alabama School of Law, and Ned Price, former Senior Director and spokesperson for the National Security Council, a former CIA analyst. He's an MSNBC national security analyst. And Ruth,
maddening phrase I've ever heard here. If General Kelly was not fully aware of the allegations against Rob Porter, it's only because he chose not to make himself fully aware, because he heard something and, you know, they're in this tribal mentality, circle the wagons in this White House. They convinced themselves that this was part of a smear campaign against Rob Porter orchestrated by his political enemies, and they didn't want to know. So if he didn't see this photo before yesterday, it's just because he didn't want to see the photo before yesterday. But when he saw the photo yesterday, let's just be clear about the timeline. That photo came out yesterday morning. They continued to talk about the confidence that the president and the chief of staff had in Rob Porter through the briefing. It was not until more than a dozen hours after that photo came out that General Kelly professed, and I mean professed, to say he was shocked by what he had seen, and that, and finally to choke out, as you say, pardon the terrible pun there, that domestic abuse has no place in our society. These people do not take this abuse seriously. And finally, when the president said he was, through his spokesman, that he was saddened by this photo, I'm sorry, saddened.